Hey guys, I am Devin, half of Dads and Dice, and I am here for a preview of Mission Amazonia. All right, so first I want to give a shout out to Marcus. Thank you very much for sponsoring this video and this preview. Mission Amazonia is a game where you are going to take on the role of a Brazilian researcher out in the Amazon rainforest, and you are going to be trying to protect endangered species, all from poaching and mining and deforestation. You're going to be trying to protect all the endangered species you can, all before one of those causes kind of gets to them first. So Mission Amazonia is going to be played with 2 to 4 players, and ultimately when it comes down to it, it is a deck building game. So you are going to take your kind of chapter book, and there's 10 different chapters in there, and it is kind of a full scenario campaign. And you're going to go open it up to whatever chapter you're on, chapter 1, 2, whatever. And when you open it up, it is going to have its own unique map that is different from game to game. Different starting spots, different trails, whether it be more rivers or more paved paths or more dirt paths, right? Just kind of different from game to game. And then on the right side of your book is going to be kind of a little excerpt that tells about the area, what is happening. It's going to be any of your special rules, what kind of missions and stuff that you're actually adding into that game. And it is going to be kind of your base of this is how you're going to start and whatnot. So you are going to get, every person is going to get one of their workers, and they're going to place it out on a dot matching their color. So if you're playing green, you're going to place on the green dot, yellow on the yellow dot, and then you're going to get you a basic deck of cards, right? And so your deck of cards is going to contain, like any deck builder, it's just kind of your starting stuff, right? Basic movements, basic money, maybe basic abilities, that kind of stuff. And so as you play out cards, right, you can play them kind of in several different ways, and it could be playing stuff for its movement, right? That's probably one of the more common ways that you're playing stuff. And it could be, if you're moving along a paved path, you're moving 2 spaces or 2 grid spaces, and then if it's a dirt path, it's only 1, or a boat, it's only 1. And then the other thing you could do is have some sort of special. So you're ultimately trying to go out to these different mission locations that have this really cool dial mechanic that will basically, depending on the player count, you start with a few, but every time you successfully do one, it will reveal the next one, so you don't get to know ahead of time. You can't really pre-plan, you're more or less reacting to where you need to go. But you'll move along the different kinds of paths and that kind of stuff, and then ultimately you'll get to the mission location, and you will need to complete it by having a certain amount of valor, and then possibly there is something with the indigenous people of the area, or maybe you need special animal care. And if you have kind of all the requirements with your one researcher, great, you can try and roll for incidents and injuries and that kind of stuff. Or maybe you have to meet up a couple researchers together to really knock out the challenge. And so you're moving around the map playing your cards to mostly get to these different mission locations, but sometimes you might have special cards that let you ignore the valor or complete it not having enough valor, or just kind of let you draw more cards, all kinds of different abilities in there. And so then the kind of the deck building aspect of it, or the currency, is its rental. So instead of spending your boat for an actual one movement, well, maybe you get a 500 rental for it, and you combine that with your budget card or whatnot, and that's how you buy more cards for your deck. And then they have support cards, or support, I'll say cards, not the regular card size, but these little square support cards that always stay out there and you can kind of always buy. And they're walkie-talkies that let you do kind of moving another person, or armor protection for when you do the events, or buying another researcher, or just kind of various different little things out there that you can do. And so you're going to be building up your deck and making it kind of stronger so you can get from place to place more efficiently and better, and beat the different missions. And every time you successfully do a mission, you get to collect a matching animal token and place it over on your success board. And then every round that you don't have missions complete, the failure track fills up with those same type of missions. And so sometimes you're going to have rounds where you knock them out, and then sometimes you're going to have rounds where really we have to spend a lot moving, but hopefully we can get them all knocked out or majority knocked out, and over here. And then when you've done 7 successful missions or 9 successful missions, you'll have an event. And the events, the rulebook mentions, sometimes events are positive, sometimes events are negative. And so when you play it, you don't know, are you getting a positive event, or are you getting a negative event? Sometimes it comes down to the die roll. Sometimes I had one where it moved one of my mission tokens, but it conveniently, just in the luck of things, moved it basically real close to where I was, so I was then able to actually complete it. And so you'll just have all kinds of different events that happen. And yeah, so you will do this until one of the 2 tracks fills up. And there's some other kind of nuances into the rule that I won't dive too far in, but there's other ways of failing. Like if you get too injured, then it's kind of a clever thematic. Your researcher puts in a resignation, and that's a red chip that's over there. Or if you get 2 of the same, or if the failure track gets 2 of the same animals, now they get a red cube because now it's a really endangered animal. And yeah, it's just there's really neat. And so then you play the whole game, and then the next page you're going to kind of set it up, do it again. But it's a totally different, unique map. It's totally different events. It's different special rules, or maybe your starting deck is a bit tweaked one way or another. Kind of some of that has to do with player count and whatnot. And so when it comes to, I guess, the overall theme of the game, right? The rule book itself does a really good job of, being educational and talking about the endangered animals or the area, right? And honestly, if you're into it for those kind of things, there's actually I guess lessons that go with it, right? That you can check out the various different lessons and I guess teach. I assume chapter to chapter. I didn't dive heavy into that. But yeah, as you go through the chapters, eventually kind of the game, we'll call it, escalates, and you flip over the basic success and failure tracks, and now instead of just being as simple as collecting these animal discs, now you have these different experience tracks, and kind of ramps up the gameplay mechanic. And so again, you get 10 chapters to kind of go through and experience it all. So yeah, that is a Mission Amazonia. This game is coming to Kickstarter in October, so we are going to have a link in the description below where you can, obviously follow the Kickstarter ahead of time, get all the notifications of when it goes live. And if you're watching this live, you can go check it out right now. But that is all I have for this one, so please like, comment, subscribe. All those things help us, help our channel grow. See you on the next one.